is Amazon KDP even worth doing anymore?
How dare you ask me that question?
Is it too late to start? Here's the truth. KDP is absolutely not dead. In fact, it's stronger than ever. But the game has changed completely. If you're still treating KDP like it's 2024, publishing fast and cheap, and hoping something sticks, that strategy will burn you out long before it ever brings in sales. Today, I'm giving you the blueprint for KDP success in 2026. I'm walking you through how to actually stand out, get visibility, and publish books that Amazon wants to promote. KDP is still the largest global publishing platform with access to hundreds of millions of buyers. But in 2026, quality is the new currency. The market is saturated, and honestly, that saturation works in your favor. It acts like a natural filter. Anyone cutting corners gets buried. Meanwhile, anyone treating this like a real business, strong editing, clear positioning, naturally rises to the top. And that brings me to the new gatekeeper, Amazon's Cosmo algorithm. This AI system is now the one deciding whether your book gets seen. It tracks 3 things. First, your conversion rate. Meaning, when people land on your book page, do they actually buy it or even click on it? If not, Amazon stops promoting it. Conversion rate means clickable covers. Let's look at what I would consider a clickable cover. I typed in journals for women with prompts. Actually, I started with journals for women, and then it showed me the with prompts. This is where Amazon is showing you how it auto-fills what other people are already searching for. A great tip is to actually sign out of your account so that it doesn't get muddled with your recent searches, and it really just looks at what other people are looking for out in the world. So a great tip here when you are looking for what type of journals or books, whatever you're interested in doing, type in the first part and then see what else it auto-fills. That will show you what other people are looking for and help you find that hyper-specific niche that is selling. It's not going to fill in something that other people are not searching for. So for example, anxiety journal for women is a really great one. Prayer journal for women, I've done a couple of those. Guided journal is another great one. The farther down we go, the more specific it gets. Divorce journal for women. These are all great ideas, a way for your book to stand out among the just journals for women. It really helps you learn the process of how to create a journal, how to get started, how to really focus on a particular market, and it's a really great tool for success. Right now, though, I'm going to choose the Journal for Women prompts. And let's just look at these covers because we're looking at what is going to click here. What am I looking at that is going to get the click? Obviously, some of this, look at the ones that are doing really well. You can see here, according to how many reviews they have. Obviously, there's some really funny ones in here that go with a very like F it type of attitude. Those do very well, but I know that's not for everyone. For example, my mother would appreciate one of these journals. She definitely does not like cussing though. So that would not be a book for her. But let's look at maybe this other one here, The Art of Self-Care. Okay, I'm not going to click on it right here because someone else is paying to sponsor this post, and I don't want to charge them just to show you a little bit more about this book. But let me show you. I don't want them to get charged. So first of all, looking at this book, it's actually my mother would love this book. Okay, that's her market. She would love the flowers. I can see The Art of Self-Care. It's very nice. It fits with the type of self-care theme, but I can't see that subtext. I think if I with my eyes zoom in really close, if we look really close, a women's journal of gratitude, calm, and affirmations. And then there's even more down here, joyful journeys. Okay. I think that if that subtext, that subtitle were bigger, bolder, then it probably would sell a little bit more. That's just one example. Let's go ahead and keep going. This one, Her Story. Okay, so only 3 reviews, tells me it's a little bit new. A journal back to the voice within. Again, I can't read that subtitle. I'm assuming it says a journal back to the voice within, but I want to be able to read that. I like the butterflies. It's nice. It's bold. It's modern, but I want something a little bit bolder here. I'm going to come in here and go to my KDP Spy. And what this is going to do is it's going to organize all of the books that are in this particular genre. I'm going to let it run until it gets to like 100 or 120 or so. And I want to be able to filter then and show which ones are the best selling and which ones are new or not selling at all. And we'll take a look at those covers. I let it run to about 100. Right here, I'm going to click on estimated revenue, highest to lowest. So this one, okay, this is a beautiful journal. It looks like it's like a cloth hardback, which while we don't have the ability on our end on KDP to print a cloth hardback, you can print a hardback and make a book that is just this beautiful. I feel like this is a book that you can make, and this is another unique thing. It has a little paper thing on it, but you can still make a book. Look at the inside of this book. It's very simple. This book is very doable. Let's go on to the next one. Mom's Story. Okay, look, has a very classic look. Let's take a look at maybe the ones that are new or not selling very well. Here's one, $21 a month. It was just published in February. The sunrise or sunset in the background is beautiful. The font right here, the start with light, end in insight. See how that's kind of hard to say? It doesn't really roll off the tongue very well. So I work on the title. Then it says a journal for reflection and growth. I would make that much bolder, maybe with a white background so that you can see it. The 105-day self-reflection challenge. I love that text. I think it should be bolder and definitely easier to read. Oh, and here's that other one that I highlighted. Now that I can see it closer, it's a lovely book, and I'll bet it's going to do great, but I would highly suggest that they work on that subtitle. So now you get an idea of what's clickable and what's not. Second, reader engagement. Cosmo tracks whether buyers actually read your book, whether they finish it, and whether they interact with your content. This is how engagement data works. Amazon knows if someone flips through your journal, colors pages, reads chapters, returns the book, or abandons it early. The knowledge that this Amazon Cosmo is looking at all of that metadata that happens with a book, how many pages they read, what page do they stay on, do they cut out early and not come back to it? And knowing that really makes a difference in the algorithm and whether or not Amazon pushes your book more, that should really go into your efforts in creating a really high quality book. And you guys, that takes a while. The books I created 1.5 years, 2 years ago when I first got started on KDP were pretty bad. We all have those experiences, but we have to get through that in order to get better. And that's okay. Keep researching. But anyway, I digress. So, this is my Kindle books, my audio books, and it will know which ones I've just clicked on and read a little bit and which ones I've read over and over again. Now, how can it tell if you have a coloring book and if people are reading through it or coloring in it? Well, the reviews make a difference. This Amazon Cosmo can tell if people are coloring your book because they're uploading pictures and they're talking about the coloring of the book. So there are pictures uploaded here. This makes a difference. Encourage people to upload pictures of your book, upload pictures of them coloring and their experience. This makes a difference. Now, I know it's really hard to encourage a random person out there to please upload a cover or a picture of them coloring. This is where that strategy I introduced in a video, I'll link it here, about gifting books to neighbors and friends and just asking, it's not required, asking that if they really like the book, that they upload pictures and post them. Now, number one, if you're gifting the book, then it will not be considered a verified review, but the pictures will post. It will say unverified review. Number two, don't come at me in the comments saying you can't do this. They're going to know your neighbors and family and friends. If you're asking them to give reviews, you're not requiring them to give you a review. You're saying, if you like this book and if you feel so inclined, please leave a review. That's all you can do. When I did this with my coloring books, I had several. I had some that left a review and some that didn't. I put a QR code in the back of the book. If they chose not to leave a review, that's up to them. I didn't even ask twice. It was a first-time suggestion, and that's it. And that's perfectly fine. That is still compliant with Amazon rules. And third, verified reviews. These are real reviews from real customers, proving that your book delivered value. A well-designed cover gets the click, but strong content keeps your book ranking. Let's talk about how to get more verified reviews. This is really key. I know that I just bought a steam cleaner vacuum last week, and I looked at which ones were verified and which ones were unverified. So this means someone has purchased your book and they have left a review. I highly suggest that you access some of these review websites. I know that Gemsy is one that I'm using right now. I've used a couple of others in the past, and they really work to get you those reviews in a legitimate way. So this is just one example of a particular book that I published a little while ago, and it was a passion project of mine of teaching others how to overcome their fear of failure and how to identify their talents and start a business from their talents. So I come here to Gemsy, I upload the book. It does cost, I think, at $12.99 a month to access the site. And then, as you can see here, you get gems every time you review a book. Here's books I am reviewing. I selected these books. And what happens, for example, is this one right here. They uploaded the PDF, so I actually get to see the book. I go to Amazon, I write the review, and I put the link here to my review. That's an unverified review because I didn't purchase the book on Amazon. However, this one right here, it says it's only for verified reviewers, which means I'm required to go purchase the book. And I did on my Kindle. I purchased the book, read the book. I actually love these recipes. They ended up being really great. I come back here, upload my reviews. So far, they have 16 reviews through Gemsy, all 5 out of 5 stars. It's a great book. And then I link the review, and it's a verified review because I purchased the book. Now, just to show you that you are not required to leave a positive review, I don't always get positive reviews. This one right here, this kawaii style book, let's see here. Someone left a review. They put 4 out of 5 stars. They said it was cute, attractive, but they didn't think it was worth it. Some ends, some parts were fading lines. Yeah, I definitely have to work on that book. So as you can see, they're very honest reviews. This one right here, 4.9 out of 8 reviews so far. So I'm still putting time and effort behind getting reviews of this book. This, like I said, is my passion project, and I really hope to continue to promote it by getting more verified reviews. In 2026, we're seeing a shift towards bold, minimalist, and clean, intentional design that instantly communicates who the book is for. Your description needs to be scannable and focused on benefits, not just features. And reviews, of course, those verified reviews need to be a consistent part of your launch strategy because they directly impact how the algorithm promotes your book. Your keywords and categories are equally important. Think of them as the roadmap you're giving Amazon. You need deep, intentional keyword placement in your title, subtitle, and your backend metadata. And if you're running ads, your ads must align with your listing. If the ad targets beginner knitting guide, your cover and description need to clearly signal that exact niche. Otherwise, you'll get clicks but not conversions. And Cosmo will penalize you. If you're brand new to KDP and you have between 0 and 5 books, your goal right now is traction, not perfection. You want to start in low competition niches using Amazon's autocomplete feature. Let me show you. So if you're brand new to Amazon KDP and you're not quite sure where to start, let me show you. We're going to use, remember where I showed you at the beginning that Amazon's autocomplete feature? I'm going to go ahead, I clicked on books, I selected books, and we're going to start with a low or medium content book. And so a low content book is like a journal or something with blank lines. And that medium content book is a little bit more interactive, possibly a coloring book or a prompted journal, something a little bit more advanced. So let's say you're not quite sure where to start, and we want to make an open-lined journal. So I'm just going to type in journal, and let's see what Amazon is telling me is selling already. Now remember, we want to be a little bit more specific because if I just click on journal, my book is going to get lost in the millions of other books that are out there. What about journal with prompts, journal for women, journaling Bible? There's a lot of religious journals out there. Let's start with journal for women, and then let's see how else it's going to fill in so I can get even more hyper specific. Okay, so journal for women, for Christian women with prompts, gratitude, prayer journal. anxiety journal for women, divorce journal for some reason, the divorce journal for women really is calling to me because I haven't done that one before. Now we're going to be looking for that BSR, that bestseller ranking. We want to stay within 100,000 and 500,000 so that we don't get lost in the ones that are, at 750,000 or a million. And we're not competing with those really, really high ranking ones that are at the very top. Okay, so again, I clicked on my KDP Spy to help me organize all of these books. Let's organize this by BSR. So this is BSR. Ooh, that's a little too high. Divorce Journal for Healing. That's actually a lovely book. I'll bet it's kind of new and it looks like it was just published in May. Let's go ahead and let's change this. Bestseller ranking of 848. Forgiving What You Can't Forget. There's that other one we looked at. This one I've done before. These are all your top books. We're looking at that bestseller ranking. That's a really, really low bestseller ranking. Those are great books. So the reason why I'm looking for something with a little bit larger BSR is so that I am not competing against those giant, giant books that are, that have been selling really well for a while and have a lot of maybe AdSense or ad revenue behind them. So when I come here, I can see that these particular BSR books are selling, and I could possibly adapt one of these titles or ideas and do a book that's a little bit closer to something like this. That's a really good one, The Healing Journey, Trauma Workbook for Women Post-Divorce. As you can see, these are all really great ideas within that 100,000 to 500,000 bestseller ranking, so that we know a book like this is going to sell, but you won't be competing against those larger books that have a lot of money behind them, backing and promoting them. When you're just starting out, don't begin with a massive project. Don't start with a novel. Start with something you can produce well and efficiently. Focused nonfiction or specialized low-content books, workbooks, puzzle books, educational activity books, all remembering those hyper-specific niches we talked about. Publish 3 to 5 high-quality books to learn the workflow and gather real data. And yes, design is mandatory. Even simple books need a great design because design controls your conversion rate, and conversion rate controls your visibility. So here's the bottom line. KDP is absolutely worth starting in 2026, but only if you adjust your strategy. Your path forward is simple. Find a low competition niche, validate the demand with the BSR sweet spot, create a high quality book from the cover to the content, and optimize your listing for the conversion. Success on KDP is no longer about who can publish the most books. It's about who can publish the right books with the right strategy. Oh, and don't forget, I've got all of this written down for you on my website at reneeclancy.com.